A boy kindness to a stranger that lifted him. A dusty road in Abuja. The sun hung low in the Abuja sky, casting a golden glow over the bustling streets of Nigeria's capital. Dust swirled in the air, kicked up by the endless stream of cars, motorcycles, and pedestrians weaving through the city's chaos. At the edge of a busy intersection in Wuse, 19-year-old Musa Ibrahim leaned against a rickety wooden stool, his hands greasy from hours of tinkering with a motorcycle engine. His small roadside mechanic stall, little more than a tarp stretched over a few metal poles, was his lifeline. But business was slow and hope was slower. Musa had come to Abuja 2 years ago from a small village in Kaduna, chasing dreams of a better life. Back home, he was known for his knack with engines, bikes, generators, even the occasional car. But in Abuja, his skills seemed to drown in the city's indifference. Job applications to big auto shops went unanswered, and his stall barely brought in enough to cover rent for the tiny room he shared with 3 others in a crowded slum. Disappointment had become a familiar companion, but Musa refused to let it break him. On this particular afternoon, as the heat pressed down like a heavy blanket, a sleek black Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon screeched to a halt just beyond his stall. The car's engine sputtered and coughed, a stark contrast to its polished exterior. Musa's eyes widened. He'd never seen a car that expensive up close, let alone worked on one. A young man, no older than 25, stepped out, dressed in a crisp white shirt and designer sunglasses. He looked frustrated, kicking the tire as the engine gave one last pitiful wheeze. "Bloody car," the man muttered, pulling out his phone. Always something. Musa hesitated. Approaching a stranger like that wasn't his style, but opportunity rarely knocked twice. Wiping his hands on his faded overalls, he walked over. "Excuse me, sir. You need help with the car?" The young man glanced at him, sizing him up. "You? You're a mechanic?" Musa nodded, ignoring the skepticism in the man's tone. "Let me take a look. No charge if I can't fix it." The man raised an eyebrow but stepped aside. "Knock yourself out." The spark of opportunity. Musa popped the hood of the G-Wagon, his heart racing. The engine was a beast, complex, modern, and far beyond the rusty bikes he usually worked on. But engines were engines, and Musa had a gift. He listened to the machine, his fingers tracing wires and components with the precision of a surgeon. Within minutes, he spotted the issue. A loose fuel injector connection, likely jostled by Abuja's pothole-ridden roads. "Got it," Musa said, more to himself than the man. He grabbed his toolkit, a battered metal box he'd carried from Kaduna, and got to work. The young man, whose name Musa would later learn was Toby Adeyemi, watched with a mix of curiosity and impatience. "You sure you know what you're doing?" Toby asked, arms crossed. Musa didn't look up. "Trust me." 15 minutes later, Musa tightened the final bolt and signaled for Toby to start the car. The engine roared to life, smooth and powerful. Toby's skeptical frown melted into a grin. "Well, I'll be damned. You're good, kid." Musa shrugged, wiping sweat from his brow. "It's what I do." Toby reached into his wallet and pulled out a crisp N10,000 note. More money than Musa usually saw in a week. "What's your name?" "Musa Ibrahim." Toby nodded, slipping the sunglasses back on. "You ever think about working for someone like me? I could use a guy with your skills." Musa's heart skipped a beat, but he kept his face neutral. He'd heard promises like this before. Big talk from city folks that never amounted to anything. "I'm listening." Toby handed him a business card, embossed with the logo of Adeyemi Autos, a high-end car dealership and repair chain. "Come to my office tomorrow. Garki near the central bank. Ask for Toby Adeyemi. We'll talk." Musa stared at the card as Toby drove off, the G-Wagon's engine purring like a satisfied cat. For the first time in months, hope flickered in his chest. The weight of dreams. That night, Musa couldn't sleep. The business card sat on the edge of his thin mattress, its gold lettering catching the dim light of a flickering bulb. He thought about his family back in Kaduna, his mother who prayed daily for his success, and his younger sister, Aisha, who dreamed of becoming a doctor. Every naira he earned went to them, but it was never enough. A job with Adeyemi Autos could change everything. The next morning, Musa dressed in his cleanest shirt, a slightly faded button-up he'd bought secondhand, and boarded a crowded bus to Garki. The Adeyemi Autos office was a gleaming glass building, a world away from the dusty streets of Wuse. Inside, the air was cool, and the reception smelled of new leather. Musa felt out of place, his worn shoes squeaking on the polished floor. "I'm here to see Mr. Toby Adeyemi," he told the receptionist, clutching the business card like a lifeline. She raised an eyebrow but made a call. Moments later, Toby appeared, looking even sharper in a tailored suit.
"Musa!"
"You made it. Come on, let's talk." In Toby's office, Musa learned the young billionaire's story. Toby had inherited his father's car dealership business at 22 and turned it into one of Nigeria's top luxury auto brands. But his rapid expansion had come with challenges, unreliable mechanics, shady suppliers, and a constant struggle to maintain quality. "I need someone I can trust," Toby said, leaning back in his chair. "Someone who knows cars inside out. You impressed me yesterday. Think you can handle working on cars like that every day?" Musa's throat tightened. "I can, but I don't have fancy training or certificates. Just what I've learned on my own." Toby waved a hand. "Certificates don't fix cars. Hands do. Let's start you on a trial. 1 month. Show me what you've got." The trial. Musa's first day at Adeyemi Autos was a whirlwind. The workshop was a far cry from his roadside stall. State-of-the-art tools, lifts, and a team of mechanics who eyed him warily. He was the youngest there and the only one without formal training. Whispers followed him as he worked, but Musa kept his head down, focusing on the cars. His first assignment was a Bentley with a faulty transmission. The head mechanic, a gruff man named Chidi, smirked as he handed Musa the keys. "Let's see if the village boy can handle this." Musa ignored the jab and dove in. The Bentley was a puzzle, but puzzles were his specialty. By the end of the day, the car was running smoothly, and even Chidi couldn't hide his surprise. Word spread quickly, and Toby took notice. Over the next month, Musa tackled every challenge thrown his way. Porsches with electrical issues, Range Rovers with engine knocks, even a custom Rolls-Royce that had stumped the senior mechanics. His hands moved with confidence, and his quiet determination earned him respect, though some still resented his rapid rise. Toby called him into his office at the end of the trial. "You're the real deal, Musa. I'm offering you a full-time job, head of diagnostics. You'll oversee the workshop, train the team, and work on my personal fleet. And $500,000 a month to start, plus bonuses." Musa's knees nearly buckled. It was more money than he'd ever imagined. "Thank you, sir. I won't let you down." A new beginning. 6 months later, Musa's life was unrecognizable. He moved out of the slum into a modest flat in Maitama, sent enough money home to cover Aisha's school fees, and even started saving for his own dreams, a proper auto shop of his own one day. At Adeyemi Autos, he'd become a leader, mentoring younger mechanics and streamlining the workshop's operations. Toby relied on him not just for repairs, but for advice on new ventures, treating him like a partner. One evening, as Musa locked up the workshop, Toby pulled up in a new Tesla. "Hop in," he said. "We're celebrating." Over dinner at a rooftop restaurant overlooking Abuja's skyline, Toby raised a glass. "To you, Musa. You fixed more than my car that day. You reminded me to believe in people, not just machines." Musa smiled, his heart full. The disappointments of the past felt like a distant memory. Abuja, once a city of closed doors, had opened its arms to him. And as the city lights twinkled below, Musa knew he was exactly where he was meant to be. Epilogue. A year later, Musa opened his own small auto shop in Kaduna, a gift to his village. He named it Ibrahim's Garage, a tribute to his family and his journey. Toby was his first customer, pulling up in the same G-Wagon Musa had fixed on that fateful day. As they shook hands, Musa realized that sometimes the smallest act of courage, like offering to fix a stranger's car, could change a life forever. The end.